On Ethiopia's recent Armed Forces Day, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed raised the prospect of his landlocked country gaining access to the Red Sea, by force if necessary. Some 30% of global trade passes through the Red Sea, including a considerable amount of the Gulf's oil and gas exports. Ethiopia has long aspired to gain direct access to this strategic trade passage. The latest statements by Prime Minister Abiy have raised alarm bells in countries along the Red Sea from Sudan to Kenya, as well as further away in Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Egypt. In particular, Ethiopia has long claimed its right to access the ports of Assab and Massawa in neighboring Eritrea. The two countries have fought multiple wars over territory, but have more recently become tentative allies. Ethiopia currently trades primarily through the port of Djibouti. Almost 95% of Ethiopian cargo passes through Djibouti's port. The remainder goes through Port Sudan, in Sudan, and Mombasa, in Kenya. Ethiopia also has plans to open new trade routes with ports in Somaliland, such as Salak and Berbera. The newly expanded port of Berbera increasingly competes with Djibouti's port, where mismanagement and allegations of corruption have slowed trade flows. The strategically located port of Berbera has benefited since 2016 from a $442 million agreement signed between the government of Somaliland and Emirati multinational logistics company DP World to operate a regional trade and logistics hub. Prime Minister Abiy's recent statements have been interpreted as nationalist and belligerent rhetoric to please his ethnic Amhara allies. The Amhara elite feels betrayed by the federal government's peace deal with their enemies in Tigray region, where a 2-year civil war ended last year. Amhara militias fought alongside federal troops against Tigrayan rebels. Now, these same militias are engaged in a protracted war with the federal government, posing insecurity risks to cities throughout Amhara region. If Prime Minister Abiy decides to use force against neighboring countries, he will start Ethiopia's fourth war in just 5 years. Abiy won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2019. But few expect Ethiopia to start a new war. Instead, the country is preoccupied with restructuring its Chinese debt and Eurobond, as well as seeking foreign direct investments in newly liberalized key sectors, such as telecoms and banking. Ethiopia's official expenditure on military hardware has spiked in recent years. One of the highest costs has been the procurement of Turkish drones and other weapons from the UAE and other Gulf countries.